Over the last 20 years in and around the car business, I have gotten the chance to drive just about everything there is, but never a Pagani Zonda until just recently, and that happened thanks to Devin, a Faster LLC on Instagram, and of course Matthew Ivanhoe, the Cultivated Collector, because it happened during his Cultivated 500 rally up at Winning Resort in Connecticut. We did a few days of driving all around the Catskills, and seeing this thing on the road was unreal. Hearing it was crazy. But when Devin offered to throw me the keys, I was very, very quick to say yes. Now, I don't make it a huge habit of driving other people's cars, but you don't say no to the chance to get behind the wheel of a Zonda. Now, the car in question is a 2005 Zonda S Roadster in blue Franzia, which is almost like Lamborghini Monterey Blue, a spectacular color on the car. And it wasn't, in fact, the first time I'd gotten to be up close and personal with this car, because I followed it for a few hours on the Supercar Owners Circle event last year at Monterey Car Week. I was in my Victoria's Secret Diablo SV, and that was a really, really cool event, winding through Carmel, and seeing this car then was unbelievable. DK Engineering had just brought the car into the US and was working through the federalization process, because you don't really see Zondas that often. They only made 140, maybe 142 of them, and they were never officially sold into the US. So they're all either here on a temporary basis or they have been federalized. So this was a recent addition to Devin's family collection, and I think a very, very special thing. Now, the Zonda is having quite a, you'd say a moment, but it really is a period of extreme sustained upward value trajectory, unlike much that we have ever seen. Now, it's safe to say that the McLaren F1 is kind of my generation's 250 GTO, but for the people just younger than me, as the Zonda is not that much younger than the McLaren F1, the Zonda is it. There is so much hype, so much excitement, and everyone just loves the Zonda. So I had heard sort of mixed reviews about how the cars are put together, how they drive, especially once they are modified and federalized to be here in the US legally and with a title. Because today, it's actually quite rare to see a Zonda presented in its original form, which this car was. So many of them have been upfitted to look more like a Cinque or modified with different body panels and things like that, because apparently you can send any of them back to the factory, and for about $3 million, they will turn it into whatever you want, with more power, with more aero, with more colors, all the things. But it's so cool to see one just kind of in the original form. But throughout the last decade, and really the last 5 years, values have just been going to the moon. And, that is representative of sort of this immediate legendary status that the Zonda has had, as it sort of was the starting point for obviously everything that Pagani has become as a car company. And so 5 years ago, you probably could have bought one for $1 or $2 million, especially one that hadn't come into the US or already had some modifications. A couple of years ago, maybe it takes 5. Now it is at least 10 as an entry point, all the way up to, you'd say, 20 to 30 million US dollars for a Cinque Coupe, Cinque Roadster, or another really special edition car, once again in its original form. Most of the modified cars seem to be 10 to 15, but it is so hard to tell, because even though there are, let's say, 140 cars, so many owners have multiple units of them, with Pagani still, I think, owning about 30 themselves that they've bought back for refitting and inventory and things like that. There's probably only 50 to 75 real Zonda owners worldwide. So after spending a day watching this car just tear through the mountains and making such a glorious noise out of the AMG 7.3 liter naturally aspirated V12, I was so excited to get the chance to get behind the wheel. And the roads of that part of Connecticut are so nice, so well kept, so beautiful, and it was just the perfect venue to experience a car like this. Now, this car was originally delivered into the UK, so it is still right-hand drive. I know when DK was offering it, they had offered that they would convert it to left-hand drive, but Devin and the family still wanted to keep it as original as possible, which I think is super duper cool. Now, when you think about the car as a real manual transmission, naturally aspirated V12, you expect it to drive sort of like a V12 Lamborghini. And it does. I mean, you'd say that the car doesn't feel quite as advanced as, say, an LP640 or a later Lambo, but certainly relative to an early Mercy or a Diablo, very, very similar in sort of the way that you address the car. Now, it feels much lighter, obviously being a carbon body, carbon tub, much lighter weight car, and being rear-wheel drive only. But you could say that, if you thought about an early Mercy as a rear-wheel drive car, that's pretty much about where it is. And there is even some shared controls, shared buttons like the climate control and things like that. But of course, everything we've come to love about Pagani, about every little detail being so well thought through, so bespoke, so special, is certainly there. Now, from a manufacturing perspective, it doesn't feel as immediately substantial as a Ferrari, Porsche, Lambo, McLaren of that era, because obviously this is the first run of cars to come out of the factory. I think this one was in the 50s or so in terms of the production sequencing. And as we start to think about these cars as being $10 to $30 million things, it's important that really we're not looking for the car to be worth it. Nothing is worth that from a driving perspective. It's worth that for what it represents within the automotive hobby, almost as art or as an artifact of what we love about cars. And so in those cases, like with an F1 or an old Ferrari race car or a pre-war Bentley or any of these things, you're kind of looking for the driving experience and in theory the ownership experience to not interfere with, how special and significant the car is. And so that's sort of the lens that I always try to evaluate some of these cars through, is like, well, is the car bad enough that I don't love it as much as I might? And I've had that experience with certain cars, and so that's always sort of the line that I'm trying to figure out which side we're falling on. But fortunately, the spoiler alert of all the things, it's amazing. The Zonda immediately is awesome. The packaging is unique, the visibility is strange, but it's all there. You can see anything, you can touch everything. It all works really, really well, like someone who put it together knew how a car ought to work. There are certain cars, even some Lambos, where you're like, well, they just put that where it would fit rather than thinking about how you were going to engage with that element of the car over time. The clutch is light, the gearbox is light, the steering is light. Everything is very approachable. It's not wildly confidence-inspiring at speed because there's not a lot of downforce. And of course, you do get a little bit more softness in a fixed suspension, but it's everything that I really love about a car. Manual, V12, loud, open roof in this case. Awesome. And of course, rare, significant, and increasing in value. Now, of course, I don't have an easy way to engage in the market for a Pagani Zonda or any of my cars without the help of today's sponsor, Premier Financial Services. Premier Simple Lease is the most powerful tool in the world of exotic car financing. They give you all the benefits of a lease, like a lower payment and the ability to have special tax treatment, with all the benefits that you would normally find in a traditional loan arrangement, like you can build up equity, trade in and out at any time, all of those things. But now, because they are fully owned and backed by First Financial Bank, they're going to start rolling out some more traditional loan products, including shorter term interest only stuff. So be sure to check them out at the link in the description below and go ahead and get in touch with some of their specialists for their immense experience in the exotic collector and luxury car world, but also because they can help you understand which of these programs might be the best fit for you. They'll also be at the Pebble Beach Concours Village Thursday through Sunday and at the Paddock and Concorso Italiano during this year's Monterey Car Week. So you can stop by their booths, learn more about their programs, and they'll actually have some special rates if you initiate an application there. So I love that they help me elevate my buying power, unfortunately not just yet to the Pagani Zonda level, but the chance to spend quite some time, we were out in it for a little more than an hour, driving this car around was awesome. And honestly, the verdict was very immediately, it's amazing. I mean, the car is wonderful. It isn't the greatest of performance. It isn't the greatest of style. It's just great. And I think as it falls in line with cars that have this kind of legendary status, it really is doing everything it needs to do to add to the legacy of the Pagani brand, which continues to build through the newer cars. And as they've gone to the twin turbo V12s in the newer stuff, how special this naturally aspirated 7.3 liter AMG engine is really amazing. I mean, I love it. I love its responsiveness. I love its rev range. I love the noise. Different than what you'd see in an S-Class or an SL where you get a very similar 6-liter V12. This thing was wonderful. Now, during the trip, you started to see what it was like to really live with one of these cars, putting the roof on and off and figuring out how that works. Of course, it's easier than a Murcielago Roadster roof, but not the most user-friendly thing. At one point, the headlight fell out and I had to help Devin with some tools to put it back in. But really, the thing didn't miss a beat. It didn't stop running. It didn't have overheating issues like some of us did occasionally. It was just a great road trip car, which is not really what you would expect. Of course, we've known that they have good storage and things like that, but watching this thing on the road, really out being used, was special. So to me, it doesn't displace the McLaren F1 as the ultimate holy grail, money no object supercar, but I do understand why so many people do treat the Zonda as that level of aspirational dream car. And it deserves that. It is that special, and it's cool that you can customize them to the extent that it's happening, and it is happening very, very often. Of course, when they do that, apparently they swap the tub to the new carbotanium tub, all new bodies, so you can maybe hang the rest on your wall or whatever the trophy may look like. But it's so cool to see these cars doing what they're doing in the market and continuing to sustain that through transaction after transaction. Sometimes you'll see a spike and then there's no more real data points, but in this case, every Zonda seems to bring more money than the last, and I guess from this experience, I would have to say that they do deserve it. So once again, thank you to Devin and Faster LLC for letting me drive the car. Thank you to Matthew Ivanhoe and the team from Cultivated Collector for setting this thing up. We've got some more adventures coming with them very, very soon. But if the Zonda is your dream car, hear me as saying, well chosen and best of luck. And be sure to check out Premier Financial Services to work your way up, build that credit, and keep the dream alive.